The Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal, page 40. Chenal mortgages in the United States. Collateralized mortgage obligations are an important source of liquidity for the mortgage industry. Colocation facility. Typically a multi-tenant building that houses several independent telecommunications service providers, taking advantage of the building's proximity to major communications trunk lines, also called a data center. Command economy. A centrally planned economy that is primarily responsive to the directives of the planning body rather than the forces of supply and demand. As in a market economy, a command economy is generally associated with state ownership and control of capital and the means of production. For instance, industrial enterprises, agricultural land, and banking. Commercial bank, a privately owned institution that offers businesses and individuals a variety of financial services, may be state or federally chartered, and is subject to government regulation. Managed by boards of directors who are selected by stockholders. Commercial facility, as defined in the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, of 1990, a facility with the following characteristics. Number one, the facility's operations will affect commerce. Number two, the facility is intended for non-residential use by a private entity. And three, the facility is not covered or expressly exempted from coverage by the Fair Housing Act, is not an aircraft, and is not a railroad locomotive, freight car, caboose, commuter or intercity passenger rail car, any other rail car described in the Act, or a railroad right of way. See also public accommodation. Commercial land. Land that can be developed for a non-specific commercial use. Commercial laundry. An industrial plant for the laundering of garments, uniforms, and other fabrics. Commercial mortgage-backed security or securities, CMBS, a bond or other investment instrument backed by loans secured with commercial rather than residential property. See also collateralized mortgage obligations, CMOs, real estate mortgage investment conduits, REMICs. Commercial paper, a corporation's promissory notes used to borrow short-term funds for current operations through trading. Organizations with excess cash lend to those in need of money. Commercial property, income-producing property such as office buildings, retail buildings, hotels, banks, restaurants, service outlets, and owner-occupied properties that are capable of becoming income producing, should the owner so decide, usually zoned for business purposes. Commercial rate. In the lodging industry, a discounted room rate available to certain commercial travelers. Some hotels will charge any commercial traveler a commercial rate upon request, while others offer it only to established accounts based on their projected volume of hotel usage. Commercial rates often differ because they are individually negotiated between the commercial business and the hotel. Commercial rates are also below the rack and published rates, and depending on the market mix, will often approximate the property's average daily rate. Commercial real estate, CRE, a broad classification of income-producing real estate, including office buildings, shopping centers, and multifamily residential properties. Page 41. Commission. An agent's compensation for performing his or her duties. In real estate, a percentage of the selling price of property or a percentage of rentals that is received by the agent. Commitment. For a mortgage, a promise or statement by the lender of the terms and conditions under which a loan will be made, also known as a loan commitment. Commitment fee. A fee paid by a borrower to a lender who agrees to make funds available at a future date, frequently expressed as a percentage of the expected loan. Commitment letter. A formal, written offer by a lender stating the terms under which it agrees to lend money to a borrower. Committee deed. A deed by a committee or commission issued by a court of competent jurisdiction to sell a property. Common area. Number 1. The total area within a property that is not designed for sale or rental, but is available for common use by all owners, tenants, or their invitees. For instance, parking and its appurtenances, malls, sidewalks, landscaped areas, recreation areas, public toilets, truck and service facilities. Number 2, in a shopping center, the walkways and areas onto which the stores face and which conduct the flow of customer traffic, ICSC. See also building common area, floor common area. Common area charges. Income collected from owners or tenants for the operation and maintenance of common areas, typically specified in commercial and retail leases. Common area factor. See load factor. Common area maintenance, CAM. Number 1, the expense of operating and maintaining common areas may or may not include management charges and usually does not include capital expenditures on tenant improvements or other improvements to the property. See also common area. Number 2, the amount of money charged to tenants for their shares of maintaining a shopping center's common area. The charge that a tenant pays for shared services and facilities such as electricity, security, and maintenance of parking lots. Items charged to common area maintenance may include cleaning services, parking lot sweeping and maintenance, snow removal, security and upkeep, ICSC. Common costs. Costs for items that benefit more than one portion of a project or more than one project within a development. For instance, hallways and elevators in a condominium, streets, parking areas, amenities. Common elements. In a condominium, those portions of the property not owned individually by unit owners, but in which an undivided interest is held by all unit owners, generally includes the grounds, parking area, recreational facilities, and external structure of the building. For example, in a residential condominium building, each unit owner owns the interior space within that unit. The remainder of the building and site are common elements enjoyed by each resident according to the condominium bylaws. The common elements are maintained by the owners' association, to which each owner pays a fee. Note that common elements should not be confused with common area. See also limited common elements. Common law. Number 1, any body of customs, usages, and practices developed by the Anglo-Saxons. English law as distinguished from Roman law, canon law, and other legal systems.